Welcome back, folks. This is the presentation of the third map that I have almost completed regarding the present day chapter of my video game, the first one that I'm actually creating. And this one represents the upper levels of the Shizuoka University. Again, a purely fictional representation. Don't mind this arrow, it reminds me of an event that's there, well, a long text that's there, and I do make such arrows to make sure that I don't accidentally delete them. So basically, when one enters from the building inside, they can choose to go directly in the dormitories, as there's this small choice panel in here. For the moment, this map, just like the others, doesn't have many things functional yet, but there will be a lot of interactables, like these closets, these boards. They will all be interactable. These bookshelves and the such, they will be interactable as well. So this is the map that includes the first, the second, the third, and if I make it, well, if I become sure of it, it will also include the roof of the university. But unfortunately, I've used most of the tiles in these on these maps and on this map, and the problem is that, well, the roof will look completely different, so I'll have to most likely create a different map, which is under development. Actually, the map is about the underground part of the university, since there will also be some somewhat creepy events that will take part, especially towards the end. So this part here will be the dormitory. This area here that we've started at is represented by the beds and the sleeping areas, as long as with some computers, as well as this part as well is all again part of the dormitory. This is more of an extension. Now I've allowed some of the objects to be interacted with, like, well, the interaction will look, at least to me, more visually appealing rather than if the character is here, because to me it looks as if the character standing here is a bit too far away from the vending machine, so I find it more appropriate if their lower part can be somewhat stepped upon, so to speak. Now the corridors, the map is a huge one as well. This one is another 250 times 250, but it's far smaller, because even though it's 250 times 250, the walkable area is far smaller. Like, let's see the map itself. If we see the map itself, there are lots of empty spaces that will be filled with all sorts of other stuff if the need arises. Now, what kind of bothers me, and I'm really looking for some opinions on this, is how to create the doors and, well, you know, the wall around them. So all the doors are created of events, except on this map the side doors won't be events. The previous map that I've presented on the channel is made of such events. So how do the events work? Well, they work something like this. The timings will have to be a bit improved. Now the point is, on another map, I think on this map, I have given up this part, like the roof here and this small, well, amusing part, and instead designed the floor itself up till the walls, up till the doors themselves. Let me show it better in, I think, not in here, on the third floor, I think. Oh, come on, there was somewhere I did this. To me, at least, it looked more appealing. Now the point is, there will be a lot of NPCs, And what can I say? The point is that it will look pretty strange to, have them walk through doors, using the through on function. And where did I actually do that? Like, yeah, I did it in here. So the point is, when you open the doors, they just vanish and you move through, rather than the walls being here and here as well, and the NPCs having to move through them. I'll have to take more care when doing this, because they'll have to go invisible in here, the doors open and close, and there will be a lot more things to do. No, not this one. That's kind of enough spoilers for today. Okay, so let's see. There's also a bathroom, and this one is actually functional. Actually, the player can choose which of the personal needs. They can also choose whether to hide in the closet or not. Then this one here is an action button event. In case the player chooses they don't need more meditation time. The showers here are as well operational. They're all usable. Well, mainly because there's an event here that triggers them, but in order to trigger the washing, one player will need they will need to call to spare clothes, which they will get from their locker only. The showers here will not be interactable because it won't be of any use. This map, unlike the other one, uses Visustella's mod, a very nice DLC that I bought on Steam along with so many others, especially soundtracks, which I will be adding to the game in time. So let's see. Again, this map will feature the possibility to kill certain NPCs, if not probably all. So if anyone wants I don't know, if anyone wants to support the idea of kill 'em all, well, I'm waiting for suggestions. So let's if they choose a long shower, it will just be a longer animation. And yes, as you move around, you probably have seen, as you move around, some of the events will disappear, mainly because I don't like 1,000 parallel events working at the same time. So if we move down the corridor, each of the floors will have this area, which will be kind of a restroom where some NPCs will gather around and, spend some time walking, trolling each other, doing jokes. The usual vending machines here that, well, they will be interactable, but I will have to work on that as well. I will be, well, actually in 3 days I will be having actually 4 months. The game will be 4 months since I started working on it, which is kind of a long while, and it will have a very extremely long while ahead of it. This door used to be interactable, but it will be. The area here will have a mission in which the player can kill a certain NPC at a certain time. They will be practicing the piano. There will be a door here, if I don't call it wrong, and they will need to be doing a lot of things before this event can go on smoothly, like steal a key, which allows you to close the door, and also most likely through multiple plays of the game find out if there are multiple instances of that key, so that you make sure no one else can enter this room once you kill someone and you leave them there. The main purpose of the game will not be to kill people, but it will be an option, because the game's purpose is to allow the player to experience in the name of consciousness. So here there's a small bathroom. I doubt these two loos are operational because the events were done a bit later, and the sinks will also be operational as well. Yes, they will be operational. There are some, I think, who are working. I've created the events for some. They will have, I think, 4 different animations: the idle animation, the washing animation, the blood-filled animation, and there will be a different animation if you commit a murder up close. There will be a few small classrooms every here and there, some areas like this, which this one would be more of a silent, I don't know how to call it. It's a room where people will go and preserve silence, you know, and do their homework, all sorts of stuff. This will be, I think, this one. Am I really where I should be? Like, yes, well, I think I started at the wrong floor. Actually no, I'm at the right floor. But wait a minute. Oh yes, that's something different. So here we have the Psychologists Room, the Counselors Room actually. Players will be sent here if they perform too many misdeeds or the such, and we can see that a certain thing hasn't been. Well, I will take care of this later on because, well, theoretically it's not much of a problem if you can actually step on this bed. So here there's the psychologist's office, so to speak, or the counselor. I haven't yet decided for a name. These things will all be interactable once I decide to actually create the events. I do have one of these as operational. You can hide bloody weapons in them. These again will be interactable. They'll most likely have a few events. Some of them will be the same, like I'll create, like, there are many of these, so I won't be creating events for each, so there'll probably be like 5 or 6 and I'll cycle through them. Here is the library where one can get to see what books they have. There will be a few quests around here as to gather certain books, find certain books, give certain books to your friends, probably make some gifts. I don't know, there's too many ideas that I'd have to think of. Here's one of the classrooms, which will be generally a typical looking one. Another one of the classrooms here. In this level I chose to give up the side doors that are present in the previous map, the Shizuoka University ground floor, because I somewhat find them more visually appealing like this. So let's see further. We have some stairs here that we can use to go up, but they don't have any events. We don't have any events for that yet, and for some strange reason I can still go to the wall in here, which most likely because of this. There are a few things, a few minor bugs that I have to take care of, indeed, but still, these maps are still under development. I'm working on the hopefully last map for this chapter. This is a part of the theater club, I think. Yes, the theater club. It will be one of the classes that they have. What the heck is this one doing here? What the heck? I know the way I've left my maps, but for some reason I keep seeing that certain things in them actually yes, I changed the tile for something, I'm guessing. Yes, that's a mysterious character that will appear later, and well, it will be part of the late game. Here we have the first floor of the infirmary ward, as well as the, well, an office for the prime nurse, or I'll think of a certain name. This thing, I got rid of it already, but I don't know why it keeps spawning. Because it does not appear in here, but I don't know why it appears in game. I've rid myself of that once in another place, but I really don't remember how I've done it. Now, without any further ado, let's keep on. Yes, I will be including clubs, because it's a feature that it doesn't exist in my country, and well, I've been quite impressed by it, so why not add it? Yes, these lockers will also be interactable, and well, these ones, actually this was an old idea of mine to make these, you know, actually no, it's better to not be capable of interacting with them. This is one of the class, and well, I goofed up the copy. I forgot to change this one. It's enter class 2.6, and this one for sure. Oh yes, this one is correct. Yeah, sometimes I create events and I forget to the fuck? Why on earth are you doing this to me? Like, alright, so we're basically back here. Alright, let's do some presentations in here. So we have this one, class 2.6 doors, and this one, no, for some reason I don't know why on earth that error came. I have to actually try that again. What? 1139. Okay, let's look for it swiftly. 1139 2.6 class doors, and let's speed check this again and see what, if that error occurs, so that, well, I don't have to check it again at a later time. I think it was up here. Sometimes I get lost on my own maps. Now that's amusing. Alright, so we have these as well. It's been a large project to take care of, and what can I say? Here we have the science club, which will be inaccessible because it will be a high privilege club. You need to be a part of it, you need to be a member of it, and only one of the 5 characters will be able to access it. It won't serve much of an importance anyways in terms of the history. Why do these things keep popping up? They're everywhere, these things. This is a larger classroom. There will be all sorts of classrooms like this. Yes, and the bathrooms here, I think they're fully made of events as well. So let's see. In order to get there, we need to go around. There are a few classrooms in here as well. They're all interactable with. What? And it's amusing that I keep finding small surprises. For some reason there's something here that blocks my access, but what that is, I just don't know. Probably it's a different terrain or so, I don't know. I don't know for sure. Probably the terrain is different. So okay, let's see. Here is another small room. Oh yes, you can't enter this one for the moment. It's this one is part of the canteen. It's the smaller canteen actually. Now let's actually look on the map. Yes, I also put some video cameras in here. The animations are mine, they've been done in Sakan. Well, I doubt this one acts so, but they will act as detectors. They have the detector plugin installed to them, so if they see you carrying weapons or being blooded, you know, blood stains, they won't have you lose the game, but they will secretly trigger a few events. Okay, so by looking at the map, I've kind of shown basically everything, like and these actually are interactable. If you choose to go to the I think I should be changing the order to make it that these will disappear after you go out, and this will be the stairs that will lead you to the next floor, but better luck next time. This is the geography classroom, if I don't call it wrong, and this is just another little classroom. There are all sorts of such little classrooms that I've created. There are also a lot more of events that I have to work on in order to make the map fully operational. That's why I'm saying there will be probably a few more months to work on these. Now let's get back to the dormitories and see if I did the functions correctly in here. Let's go to the second floor. Now the second floor will generally look similarly. Well, some positionings will be different, but the structure will remain similar. So here is again another part of the dormitory, the gaming part, or the internet browsing and such. Here's the typical server, which one of the characters can interact with and disable so that she'll troll the players. Again, the bathrooms. In here the events don't pop up unless you go through here, because, well, less parallel events functioning at the same time, that's far better. Here we have another part of the, well, I wouldn't call it a drama club, I think it's something like the, oh yes, the theater club. I called it the theater club. This one will be changed. Here there will be clothes to take. Well, I'm thinking that interacting from here or from here, I think this one will be more suitable. So the player can actually go through here and end up here. There will be an event here that will regard killing someone, and the event can be done along with another playable character, but in this case they're just an NPC. There will be a few, 2 or 3 possibilities for the event in here. And the way the player does it, well, it will depend. The game will most likely require a lot of things to be kept in mind, most likely. The main difficulty that I'll have, probably, most likely, is the introduction of the NPCs and how they will be moving around and, you know, their usual routines. I was so thirsty. Here is another classroom. Well, not necessarily a classroom, it's a study room where people can just come and, you know, study in peace. Here's the principal office. There will be something tricky regarding this one. Also this part here. But there will be something tricky about this. No spoilers for the moment. This one is another classroom. This one is a teacher's room, and the closets that are also interactable. Well, one of them is interactable. Here as well, this one is interactable, this one is not. And I've chosen that in this case. And this is a second classroom. Now, without further ado, this second floor, they all follow the same structure, an almost H, like an almost H. These stairs will lead to the upper floors, as well as this one. These will lead to the upper floor. Only this stair and this one will lead to the lower floors. So the second floor will have a same structure. It will have classrooms, more classrooms, a restroom in this case, the toilets that are all interactable as well. Here there will be a character's own room. What the heck is this? Oh yeah. And it will be part of it because there will be something leading to a different part. It's incomplete, yes. It's very simplistic. This will be one of the playable characters' rooms in which she actually lives. She can stay beyond the, you know, hours of availability. Here there will be, well, a most likely an arts classroom, or I don't know exactly what it is. Oh, the student council's room. Yes, the student council's room. I forgot. It's been a while since I worked on this map as well, so yeah. Excuse me if I forget certain details. Here is the big canteen. There will be a few events here when you can peek through these windows, and chances to see someone required, yes. Now, if we move along, we have the third floor, which is much smaller. The third floor follows the same structure of the dormitory and the gaming areas. There will be one for each of the areas. The bathrooms, a restroom, well, extended in here. In this case, another classroom. Mosaic. I'm getting better and better. Okay, so this one will be the music club. This one will be the security center club. Well, it's not a club actually, it's the security area, I think. No, it stays. It looks nice as is. Here we'll have the here is the class of an interesting teacher. She'll play probably an important part. She's not yet fully added, and I'm still thinking of her role. Yes, here there are a few events. Oh yes, Miyumi, she is one of the playable characters. These one were used for testing purposes only of the so-called detection plugin. I have to admit that Galv's detection plugin actually gave me much more than I needed, and it is actually engaging and fun to use. This will be the security room. There will be some nice soundtracks here, and there will be a few events in here as well. So depending on the character, there will be some events, and as a small spoiler, a few, actually one or two morbid ones as well. After all, the game is all about exploring consciousness and in the name of consciousness, and it will have a great tendency towards the psychiatric part as well. You know, the studying of different problems of personality. Here is a minor part of the roof, but this one will most likely be inaccessible because I want to create it in a different way. It will look differently, so I think I'll have to create a completely different map. And the roof will be this one. Actually, the roof itself will be this, and if the player descends, they will descend on this dark area, which is this one. Actually, something is wrong here because this is actually the third floor. So I'll be having to copy these and put them here instead, and then delete this part. Because this one is already the second floor, so there doesn't need to be anything around. If this is the third floor, there have to be the second, first, and the ground floor only. Okay, so based on the details I've kind of presented these maps, I do hope they are detailed enough, and actually I'm waiting for as much criticism and constructive criticism especially as possible. And the only map that I have to present is the school underground, and I'm guessing the school roof. There is also gonna be a school map haunted, probably two of them I think, but these will be part of the end events, so until then there's still a lot of work to do before. So I'm really waiting to hear as much constructive criticism as possible from you. What can I say? Have a nice day and keep up the good work you're doing. Have fun!